Stars, I'm a fool for your love.
Hey everybody, Rock here. What's going on? Hope you're having a great day. Just heading out to the gym. I thought I'd drop you a video. So I've completed the release of my Me Too story with final thoughts. And again, your support has been tremendously positive and appreciated from me, from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate that. I was thinking as I was releasing these videos, what's gonna happen next? Like, what am I gonna do after I post these videos? What am I gonna strive towards now? I'm gonna put my hand here just to see if the me blocking the sunlight's gonna give me better footage, more of a test. So what am I gonna do now? What's going to be on the Rocky Life channel? And I was talking to a friend about this, and one of the things I decided I was going to do is document a bit of my growth, a bit of my push for getting out of my comfort zone. One of the things I have been struggling with for a while is speaking my mind. Like truly speaking my mind, saying what I feel. Because for a lot of reasons, I fear being judged, fear saying something that may offend somebody, but mostly just fear of like not being loved, not being seen as somebody that can be loved. We all do that a little bit. We hold back. And a lot of that has to do with what I mentioned 10 seconds ago, but also a lot of it has to do with this PC culture we live in. Take the Gillette commercial, for example. The one that's supposed to be all about men being better. As much as I agree with that, most of the men that I know are doing fine. They're doing well. They're good people, good men, raising great kids, doing the best. For me, I find it a bit confusing because as a man sexually abused by another man, I have had and still have difficulties determining or figuring out what a real man is. Is it the macho type? Is it the sensitive type? Is it somewhere in between? So I find the commercial a bit confusing. And also I find that the commercial itself paints men all with the same brush. And heaven forbid if a corporation was to start painting women all the same way. But it's not just that. I mean, if you really look at mainstream entertainment, TV shows, stuff like that, specifically TV shows, movies, they really do, and commercials, they really do portray men as being the hapless dope, kind of the idiot that can't do anything right. Like, just to name a few, Everybody Loves Raymond, that was one. King of Queens, that was another one. According to Jim was another one. Family Guy, Simpsons, they all make the men look like they're kind of idiots. And they do this in commercials as well because they know that the buying power is about 90% based on women consumption. Women go and buy most of the products at home in general. So it's natural or fitting to have the man look like a dope. Well, your man can't go out and buy laundry detergent. He's just a moron. But, you know, so they portray that, and at the same time, they're asking us to be better. The best man can be is their new slogan. And I don't know about you guys, but I think we have to be very careful when corporations start virtue signaling, which means they take a higher moral ground. This is Gillette we're talking about, right? A razor company, they sell razors. They're part of a bigger conglomerate, Procter and Gamble, sell all sorts of cleaning products and stuff like that, day-to-day stuff. Which, by the way, I did a bit of research on Walmart's website. A bit of research. I searched one website. And did you know that Gillette sells women shavers more expensive than men shavers on average? So is that really what they're preaching here? Men, the best men can be. Well, what about the best Gillette can be? If they're so prone to pushing this commercial down our throats in some sort of virtue signaling, but they have to take the pill both ways, overcharging women for the same stuff that men buy. I was looking at an 8-pack. So an 8-pack is essentially, you get eight disposable little clips that you put onto your shaver, your razor. This was a 3-blade Venus 8-pack, $52 some and change. Men's, I couldn't find a 3-pack, but I thought, okay, I'll do the Pro Glide, which is 5 blades, arguably a better product because of 5 blades, was selling for $40, $39.97. $12 difference. And on top of that, I don't know about you guys, I'm gonna speak from experience, but I've never been at a barbecue where 2 boys were fighting, and I'm gonna extend an olive branch on that, where one boy is particularly beating up another boy. They're not play fighting at this point, they're fighting. I've never heard anybody say, let them fight, boys will be boys. I've never heard anybody say that before. Boys will be boys. I have heard it once, actually, that's not true. I heard it once when I was a teenager. We were at a restaurant with a bunch of friends. Well, I was at a restaurant with his family, and their youngest, might have been 2 or 3 at the time, stood up on his chair at the restaurant and said, listen, listen, listen. And everybody listened, and he farted really loud. And his mother was like, huh, boys will be boys. I don't think that the excuse boys will be boys is meant to be used to like whitewash or excuse male sexual assault people, assaulters, aggressors. I don't think it's meant for that. It doesn't fit. I think the boys will be boys is meant for stuff like that. He farted at a table. They walked in and they had their boots full of mud. Boys will be boys. That sort of stuff. I don't think it's, they're using it to play with our emotions. They're using that tactic. On top of that, in that commercial, you see a nice girl walking down the street, and there's a guy leaning up against the wall. Now he doesn't say much other than, oh my, like, ooh, oh, whatever he says, oh, and he starts to walk towards her like he's going to introduce himself, and his friend, or a person, another man, steps out of a shop and stops him. No, no, man, not cool, not cool, not cool. What do you mean not cool? It's not cool to approach women nowadays? But I don't see that as being really catcalling. I mean, if men did not approach women to date in courtship, we wouldn't be here. If my father hadn't approached my mother, if your father had not approached your mother in whatever way he did it, you wouldn't be here. So it's not the same thing as somebody catcalling and saying, wow, I'd like to grab your whatever, you know? This guy's like being stupid. And yeah, there are some stupid men. So there is such a thing as men behaving badly. But you know what? There are also women who behave badly. We don't want to paint all pit bulls as being bad, but at the same time, we're going to try to lump all men into being in this category. I have a hard enough time figuring out what the hell a man is in the first place, let alone policing my other men friends. We're all in the same boat, I think, a little bit. We all have difficulties in expressing ourselves. We're told as boys don't cry. And then now we're told, now boys need to express themselves. But not too much. We gotta be careful with these corporations and their virtue signaling. It's not good, it's not positive. There's a $1 billion company gonna start telling me how to act around women, all in the same breath, overcharge women for the same product. I gotta put my belt back on because the thing's gonna keep ringing. Overprice women for the same product. And Gillette, have you ever looked at those NASCAR or F1 races with the Gillette girls? They're all wearing like the Blue Man suit, skin tight, and they have Gillette right in the ass. What do you think that suggests? Oh, but as a man, I'm not supposed to look at that because then I'm part of the Gillette commercial. I'm toxic. I think what you want partially is to have people just be better overall. Kindness. Because if there is such a thing as male toxicity or toxic masculinity, that would also mean that there is a toxic femininity, toxic female behavior. This is all part of an agenda to separate us all, to divide us all. We need to stop focusing on these trivial things, specifically when it comes from a corporation trying to take the higher moral ground. They sell razors. You want men to be the best they can be? Okay, well then let's all stop shaving then, because that's not what a real man is. That's a social construct. Just like women shaving their armpits, shaving their legs. Think about what it means when they paint everybody with the same brush. How does it work? If a commercial did the same thing towards women, there would be an outpouring of outrage and protests, and somebody would get fired. And I hope you guys like this video. I just want to make you guys think, really think about corporations taking the moral higher ground. They're always working an agenda. There's no two ways about it. Thank you so much for watching the video. Have yourselves a great day. Peace out.